everyone, hope you're having a great day. Today's video is going to be about footwear that are possibilities that you should consider on a thru hike. Okay, so what to wear as far as shoes on a thru hike? This is a huge debate and a topic that is rather important. As we all know, we need to have the right footwear when we go out there, and you have lots of options. So I wanted to make a video about what my experience has been and what I've used successfully and whatnot while doing a thru hike on the Appalachian Trail. Of course, as I've mentioned many times before, I've thru hiked the Appalachian Trail in 2018, and I saw all types of shoes while out there. First of all, I'd like to explain what I used and what worked for me. Trail runners. Trail runners was my shoe of choice when I went out there, and that just was the easiest and most effective shoe for me. And the reason why is because they're lightweight. They are not waterproof, so they don't retain water. They do get wet, but they don't exactly retain all the water like a Gore-Tex boot or boots in general. People that I saw out there that were using boots were having a hard time. They were getting blisters, their shoes were very heavy, and they were having a problem with their boots drying out, especially Gore-Tex. So, as they claim that they're waterproof, they still get wet on the inside, and it's nearly impossible for them to dry. So just keep that in mind. Of course, if you need that ankle support and that is what you've used and that is what works for you, of course, go with whatever is best for you and test them out and try them out. Those boots, or having boots, do provide a lot more ankle support. Trail runners don't seem to as much, but if you don't have major ankle problems, that seems to be the better bet in my opinion. I liked the trail runners because they were lightweight, they did dry quickly, and they had very good traction, especially when you really needed them in the Whites or in Pennsylvania. Not too big of a problem before then, but there were some spots here and there that having traction on your shoes was a pretty good thing to have. So that's something to keep in mind. The kind that I used were Ultras. The Ultra Lone Peaks, and that worked out great for me. And I'll be using those again on this thru hike in 2021 when I'll be starting very soon. So some other shoes that I saw out there were Solomon's. I saw a bunch of those. Hoka's are coming out with a trail shoe, or have come out with a trail shoe or trail runner that looks pretty good. I have not tried it out, but that's an option. And Hoka's are usually lightweight. I like the Ultras just because they have that wide toe box, and you want to keep in mind that when you're choosing your footwear, when you're out there and hiking for extended periods of time, your feet do swell, some more than others. Mine definitely swell quite a bit. So rule of thumb, you want to get one size larger than what you typically would wear. I wear a size 8, so I buy a size 9, and that works out great. And I've tried to get away with having smaller shoes, and then I end up getting blisters. So again, try them out, see what works best for you, and what your preference is, and go with that. But the shoes that I saw getting ditched fastest were the boots, and I didn't see a whole lot of people that were out there for extended periods of time using boots for very long. Again, some people did, and they used it the whole way. I'm not knocking them, but they're very heavy, they don't dry, and that's an added an added challenge for sure. So what are you doing? Oh, it's Millie. What are you guys doing? These little guys, I think they're ready to go in. But yep, that's my opinion on shoes, I have actually gone out and done very long hikes in just sneakers, in just regular Hokas. I've gone out in Nikes, Nike Frees, and those work out pretty good as well, in my opinion. I've done long distance races on trails, 100-mile races, and I use sneakers. To be honest with you, when I started the trail in 2018, I started in in Nike Frees, and I used those for all the way until I got up to Pennsylvania, and they worked out perfect. They were just fine, and that was with snowstorms and a lot of snow. They worked out all right, but that's what I was used to and racing in, and that's what I was comfortable in, and I didn't get any blisters. So really, it's your own preference. It's what you practice in, what you're comfortable with, and what works best for you. Don't feel like you have to go with whatever the trend is. Go whatever is most comfortable for you. I've had people ask me if I got blisters while I was out there and if I lost any toenails. Great question. Blisters and lost toenails? No, I did not. In 2018, for my whole through hike, I did not get blisters and I did not lose any toenails. Have I lost toenails and gotten blisters in ultra races? Every single time. I'm prone to getting blisters. I've tried all types of shoes and all kinds of shoes, all kinds of socks, but when I'm doing my ultra races, I have always had a problem with blisters, and I've lost more toenails than I can ever count. As a matter of fact, some of my toenails don't grow back normally, and that's just how it is. For the record, it takes 6 months for a toenail to grow back for a big toenail on your big toe. So it's happened so many times, it's just normal for me now. But another big concern, or not concern, but thing to consider, which is extremely important, is your socks. You want to be sure you have good socks, and the most popular socks out there on the trail that I use and also saw were the Darn Tough socks. They do hold up very well. They have a warranty that's a lifetime warranty, and that's pretty cool. And I do know that people that had a hole in them for one reason or another, they did contact the company and ask them to replace it, and they were replaced without any question or problem. I think that's pretty good of a company to do that and hold up their end of their word and bargain. So pretty cool. But you do want to have a sock with some cushion. I prefer a sock with a cushion. I prefer wool socks, so I'm bringing Darn Tough socks with me, and I've actually got 2 other brands I'll be trying out to see how I like those as well. But they're both wool type socks, so they keep you warm, your toes warm, and they dry pretty quickly. And I prefer having a little bit of cushion in my sock, and that's just my preference. But it's whatever works for you. Of course, the cushion is and all the socks are so different. So try a whole bunch of them out and see what works best for you during your shakedown hikes. I did see a lot of people trying to dry out their socks and putting their socks too close to the fire. So be careful if you're doing that. You don't want to get them too close and have a hole burned in through your socks. That did happen frequently. Luckily not with my socks, but I saw it happen regularly with other people's. So don't do that. And if you're curious of how many socks to carry, again, that is up to you. I bring two pairs of socks to hike in, so I can have one hanging off my pack while I'm wearing another pair. I hang it off my pack so they can dry while I'm hiking, and then I have one warm dry pair that always stays dry that I'll sleep in. But that's what works for me. Some people carry more socks, some people carry less, so it's whatever your preference is, but I take typically 3 pairs of socks with me, and that works out for me. So yeah, some people tried out sock liners, and I think that's a pretty good idea. It's a very thin sock that you wear on the as a first layer, and then put your regular socks over that, and they had really great success with that, especially people that were prone to blisters and getting blisters a lot. That seemed to reduce the friction, so try that out. My preference is, I've tried that out and it didn't really make a difference to me, so I don't typically do that, but I don't think it's a bad idea. Again, I didn't have a problem with getting blisters when I was hiking because I was able to air out my feet, and at night having some dry socks to change into, and even better if I could, if it was warm enough to just let your feet not have anything on them at all and let them air out and breathe. That was the best thing, and I think because of that I did not have as much of a problem with blisters. But I also had shoes that were a size larger than what I typically wear, so by doing that I avoided extra friction when my feet would swell. So stuff to keep in mind, things to consider. I hope this information was useful. Get out there and test some stuff out yourself, and be sure you find out what works best for you and what is most comfortable for you. If that's boots, go for it. If that's trail runners, go for it. If it's sneakers, go for it. Although as much as I like sneakers, and I do enjoy hiking in sneakers, when you get to the northern part of the Appalachian Trail, when you get to a lot of rocks, you're going to want that traction. So just keep that in mind. Traction is good to have. And so, yep, that's what I have to say on shoes. Hope that helps out a little bit, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.